Hey everybody, so this here is one of those Chinese brand mini excavators. This brand happens to be an AGT. The model's a H12R. Basically one of the cheapest ones you can get. It's got a fixed swing arm that doesn't move, which I really personally don't see the need for that to move, since 90% of the time people move the whole cab. So I guess it's just a preference thing. Comes with a mechanical thumb and also a little spotlight here on the boom arm, which when I first got it, I planned on replacing. I figured it wasn't very bright, but the thing's actually pretty bright, and I can see plenty good with that. I kind of was thinking of mounting one on the other side. It already comes with a hole that's threaded, just to eliminate the shadow on that side, but I don't really plan on doing too much work at night, so I don't know when I'll get around to that. One thing to note is the grease fittings are a needle type, so chances are the grease gun you got in your basement or garage or wherever is gonna need an adapter or something. This doesn't come with pilot controls. It comes kind of like tractor controls. It comes with an auxiliary handle, and it's already pre-plumbed right here for auxiliary hydraulics or a hydraulic thumb. You can get all sorts of different attachments for this thing that are hydraulic. It's a pretty versatile little machine. I believe it weighs somewhere around 1,800 pounds. It's a 1-ton class. There's a trailer hiding underneath all the brush. I already toyed around with this thing a little bit, so I know how to use it before I made a video. But this is one of those Tractor Supply 5x8 trailers. I think it's rated for 1,500 pounds or something. I made a 6-hour round trip towing it with a Dodge Dakota with the 4.7 V8, and I'm guessing 200-300 pounds of snow and ice that had built up on it from driving, plus the weight of the excavator, and the trailer handled it fine. So you don't need a big trailer in order to tow this. If you got a cheap little landscaping trailer like I do, it'll do the trick no problem. Engine compartment. It's got a 420cc gas engine. I believe that this model specifically came with gas engines. I don't know if you can build or request the diesel, but with this small of an excavator, the hydraulics are limited. So really the diesel's not going to benefit you very much, other than maybe a little reduction in operating noise and possibly slightly better fuel efficiency, but the cost I don't think would justify spending that much for the diesel. And these gas engines are so cheap, you can go to Harbor Freight and pick one up for a couple $100 if it ever blows, and you're back in business in a couple hours without spending $5,000 for a diesel engine. So to me, gas engine in this type of setup is the way to go. It also has this gauge here, temperature gauge for your hydraulic fluid. Also serves as a sight gauge, make sure you're not too low. One thing that I've read about is that you need to add some cooling fans, or some people remove the back to reduce heat in there. I'm not going to reduce the back or take the back off, because I don't want to reduce any weight, because that ultimately reduces how much you can lift. I will probably add some cooling fans, because the other day when I was running this, it was pretty cold out. I'd say maybe 10 degrees. And after about an hour or so, I checked and I was up to about 80 degrees hydraulic fluid temp, which obviously isn't hot, but that's in 10 degree weather. So in the middle of summer, I'm sure that fluid's going to get pretty hot. So to extend the longevity, I'm going to mount a fan here, probably blowing in, and maybe another one over here sucking out, or maybe both blowing in. Not 100% sure yet. I'll have to check that out. So that's gonna be the one modification I plan on doing to this thing. The seat's adjustable, but I keep it all the way back because I'm fairly large. I'm 6'2", 200 pounds, 210, depending on how much I ate the day. I fit comfortably on it. One thing that I did do was modify this top, because in order to take it off, normally you would have to unbolt these four, unbolt these four, unbolt these two, those two. And if you've got a short garage, that becomes a pain in the butt every time. So with this one, I just got to take these two off each side in the front. My Joe bit broke, and then I just put some cotter pins in. These were welded. This was cut and reduced to fit into the other pipe, and cotter pin just lock it in place so I could pull the pin out, undo the couple bolts, and the top comes right off. I can have it off in 60 seconds. One problem I did have with this thing, and it's been the only problem so far, was the choke cable, which wasn't a big deal. That was a 30-second fix. I probably wouldn't have noticed it if I wasn't trying to run it in this cold of a temperature, but let me see if I can get down in there. Oh yeah, here we go. Right here is where the choke cable comes out, and when I pull the choke, the golden piece was sticking too far forwards and it wasn't allowing the choke to go all the way, so it was just cranking and wouldn't start. So I just pulled it back a little bit, tightened it back down. Now fires right back up, no problem. For some reason the hour meter stopped working. Oh no, it didn't. Okay, I was at 2.1, now I'm at 2.4 hours. I thought it wasn't working. I guess maybe I just wasn't using it as long as I thought I was. It does come with a mat. I took it off because I don't want it to get all salty and stuff, as stupid as that sounds. One thing that I did notice, sometimes if you have it running and you get off and you push the seat up, it can push the controls and it will want to move forwards on you a little bit. This right here, I forgot to turn it off. This is your on-off kill switch, I guess you would say, for the battery. This is where you fill your hydraulic fluid. This is the switch for the lights. Your choke, obviously, your on-off switch, and this is your throttle. So, yeah, comes with the blade to level or push or whatever you want to do. I have some ideas for some attachments that I want to build that will attach to this. Once I get them going, I'll make some videos on how I did it and what they do. So I'll go ahead and fire it up. I'm not gonna move it right away because it's so cold. I'm gonna let it warm up before I start doing something, and I'll come back with a second video putting it to a little bit of use, but for now, I'll fire it up. I wasn't pulling the choke all the way. I had to use my other hand. The hydraulic fluid's cold. It's whining. But yeah, I picked this up for $3,500 with 1.9 hours. So I've only ran it about a half hour so far, but that time I was just picking up some broken branches from the snowstorm we had. But it's a pretty fun machine. I'm gonna let this warm up and I'm gonna go ahead and make another video and show you guys how it works.